Welcome to this week's track breakdown, round 13, Philadelphia. We'll talk about this gnarly start between the KTMs and then also the Yamahas, Deegan and Davies with the 250 class with some massive whoop opportunities. So if you like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. First off, AP. This was a fan favorite right now. Somewhat of a mud race. He won the last mud race. The dude just can't catch a break. And if we watch this, look at these guys. Here they go. You could argue that Sexton had a better exit of a gate. You have AP, which is sort of leaning towards Sexton. And Sexton's is pretty choppy here. But as we continue down, you see Sexton just move completely over and cause this pileup. And yes, I am saying that he caused the pileup. Truthfully, AP had the line. And Sexton can see his front wheel. He doesn't have much more of a lead on AP. It's minute. As a racer, and these guys are professional, they know who's on the inside of them. And so AP completely has a line, and we can see it from a different angle as to why AP didn't just run it in and almost just take out his teammate, because you could argue that Sexton basically took out his teammate along with, started that massive pileup. But here, let's look at it from a different angle, and I want you to pay attention to AP's rear wheel as he transfers his weight and he puts a lot of pressure on that front end. Watch what happens. Boom! Okay, so he is no longer accelerating forward. And this is where Sexton was able to see a window of opportunity to help him win the race. AP is not wheels on the ground, so he's not able to just run it in just a few inches more, because if he literally, this was just a race of inches. If he would have been able to just run it in there just a few inches deeper, he would have prevented Sexton from being able to pinch him off, because that ultimately just let him get his handlebars, his foot peg attached to Sexton's bike. And honestly, it looks like his shroud. This could have been bad for Sexton. It could have ruined his entire night by doing some damage to his motorcycle. But you know what they say, fortune favors the brave, and he is no slouch as to letting it all hang out. But if we just go back briefly, the reason as to why AP wasn't able to get the whole shot and prevent Sexton from basically taking everybody out was this. And you can see he is sitting down where Roczen, his bike doesn't hit the same deal because he's in that attack position. So was it a mistake by AP? Nah, he just was going in there hot. And if we continue to talk about Sexton, watch him after the finish line as he comes around and he keeps his feet on the pegs. He's basically at 90 degrees, okay? He's not straight up and down. He's doing a wall ride around these berms. These berms are basically like Talladega, if you've ever seen these. And he doesn't go to pivot and sit down until the very end. And he briefly then just stands back up, and watch him just accelerate through here and just manhandle this triple section where he just soaks up everything, okay? Comes in here, full face. This is a full face triple. And he just soaks it up, soaks up the wheel tap, the middle portion, and is able to basically have it just be just as fast as Malcolm Stewart by seat bouncing it. Look at this. Does Malcolm gain just a little bit of time? About a half a bike length. But for somebody that just pretty much manualers the whole section, that's pretty impressive. That just shows you how strong this SOB is. And watch Webb. We'll see him. He comes through a little bit different. You can see how he comes around the corner. And what he does is, here, look. He is dragging the rear brake. As he's landing, he instantly gets off of it, sticks that foot underneath that rear brake, gets his toes on the foot pegs, okay? Nice little squat. He's getting ready to wheel tap into the whoops. Boom, 1, 2. Basically quads in, then triples again, then seat bounce. Very smooth, okay? And if we count, basically once, twice, 3, he's out of there. Super easy for these guys. Not so much taxing, because if you were to argue, who's more taxing on the body? Sexton's you've got somebody that's able to breathe. Rah, rah, rah. C-bounce. Yeah, totally. That's why I hate the 9 whoop rule. If we're going to do 9 whoops, make sure we have 2 whoop sections. But here, watch Deegan. He is pretty much got the Sexton deal where he's just going to haul through the whoops, and I'm just getting the end of it. But then the 250s, they would triple for up, and then he goes for it and barely makes it. It almost takes out Seth, and I'll talk about how he ends up pushing the envelope to try to catch his teammate here. Pretty wild. And really the only rider that was able to do it consistently in the 250 class was this man right here. As he goes, rot, 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 and then triples, seat bounce, Tom Vial. Beautifully done on that KTM 250. Okay, he's got the Deegan line where he just accelerates through the whoops. And then triples and seat bounces. Worked out a lot better for Tom Vial than Deegan. Skimming the whoops, last little bit, triple, and then try to get it. Oh, he almost just air wheelied off the bike. Shows you how strong this SOB is for being as small as he is, right? The dude is pretty stacked to ride that 250. I want to say he's probably 155 to 165, and I think he's a little bit shorter. I think he's like 5, like Ricky Carmichael height, like 5'6", something like that. And Tom Vial weighs probably less than him and just a little bit taller, but really smooth. And if we go into how Deegan had to get back onto the podium, okay, what did he have to do? He just had to manhandle and push through, which was something that you didn't see his counterpart, okay? You didn't see his counterpart, Davies, how he got around all of these guys just nice and clean. There's Deegan, you know, cutting people off, right? That's just his riding style. It's cool to see 2 different kinds of riding styles. Here he leaves the door open and Cole just goes right underneath him. You know, they're going to go back and review this tapes and you're going to say, hey, when you have Cole behind you, don't leave the door open. He's going to take it from you. Do not do that, because this was something that could have been preventable. I don't know if Deegan would have been able to hold off Davies, even though he ended up catching him towards the end. We don't know what was wrong with Davies, if he was just phoning it in the last couple laps where Deegan was letting it all hang out. We know Deegan was letting it all hang out, or if he had arm pump or something. But the fastest guy on the track was Cole. Leaves the door open, nice and clean, just cuts him off, doesn't make contact. And then here he is, takes a nice outside, almost 2 for 1, gets around Seth coming into the next corner. He's got the inside, and then he does the same thing to RJ, pretty much the next lap. Just nice. I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to use all of the track, and I'm just going to pass you right here on the inside. We talked about this on my track analysis video. If you guys missed that, make sure you stay tuned for this week's episode. And speaking of that, CoachRobStore.com. He's got deals on his nutrition bundles, especially if you are a member. You get around 20 to 30% extra off, okay? And the one that I have used lately is this joint restoration bundle, okay? With as much running that I've been doing and cycling, this has been helping. I'm becoming an old man. The broken bone bundle is something that I've used before, and also the concussion one. This one helps tremendously when you knock your noggin into next week. That one, whew. So make sure you go to CoachRobStore.com. Check these suckers out. And to wrap the show up, Tom Vial, strong SOB. That's definitely SOB of the show this afternoon. Dude, how could you land like that? Boom, and just smacks his face. Okay, yeah, a little bit of mud, but okay, I'm gonna have a beef with the tough blocks right now. I get the idea that the tough blocks are there for marketing, and I kind of see that that's really the only thing that these are good for at the moment, because every time riders touch them, they die. They absolutely die. I get it. Sponsors paid lots of money for this, but what I would like to see is some changes happening, okay? You have a tough block or a set of jumps, and at the edges, let's put them off on the side, okay? Let's put these suckers down here so that the riders can use the entire track, every inch that they can. And yes, you could argue that guys are then going to push over and go even farther on the track. Sure, we could argue that, but something has to be done and changed. This is old tech, old technology. We've been using this stuff since the inception of Supercross, 70s and 80s. So these things can definitely have an update, and somebody smarter than me figure it out, because they cause more harm than good. How many times do you see somebody that has the tough block save them, where they usually, when they crash, they miss the tough block completely, or they do what Tom did, is they come off this massive quad, and you could say, maybe did he get cross-rutted? I don't know if he got cross-rutted. I think he just was using the entire track, and then once he jumps, he goes, oh shit, I'm going to die. And then what happens? He dies because he lands on a freaking tough block. So let's do something. Move him down here, okay? Or get rid of him altogether. I don't know what we're going to do with the sponsors. I get it. They need it. But there should be something better. I don't know what it is. You guys tell me in the comments below if you can figure it out too. But I don't like them. Oh, that's the video.